Most people your age have already lost one of these 6 movements, and they have no idea it's gone. Not because they're sick, not because something went wrong, but because it disappeared so quietly, so gradually that they simply never noticed. And by the time they did, it had already changed their life in ways they never expected. But here's what I want you to understand before we go any further. This video is not a warning. It is not a list of things to fear. It is something far more valuable than that. Because tucked inside these 6 movements is something most people over 70 never get to hear. A quiet, honest truth about what your body is still capable of. And if you stay with me until the very end, you may walk away from this video seeing yourself in a way you never have before. Let's begin. And I want you to pay close attention to this first movement, because out of all 6, this is the movement that doctors watch for first. It tells them more about your future than almost anything else they could measure in a clinic. It is the simple act of getting up from the floor, not a test, not an exercise, just the ordinary ability to lower yourself down and come back up again, on your own, in your own time. Here's why it matters so much. When you get up from the floor, your body calls on almost everything it has. Leg strength, core stability, coordination, the quiet, invisible cooperation between your muscles, your joints, and your nervous system. It is one of the most complete physical actions a human body performs, and most people over 70 have quietly stopped doing it altogether. Not because they decided to, but because life simply stopped asking them to. Now think about the last time you were on the floor, maybe playing with a grandchild, maybe reaching for something that fell, maybe stretching on a warm morning. Did you get back up without help? If you did, even slowly, even with effort, your body just demonstrated something that researchers in longevity studies associate with significantly longer, more independent life. That is not a small thing to carry inside you. But here is what most people don't know about this first movement. It is directly connected to the last movement on this list, and that last one is the one that surprises people the most, so keep that in mind as we go. The second movement happens every single day, and almost no one realizes it's a sign of anything at all. Walking from one room to another without looking down at your feet. Stop and think about that for a moment. Right now, as you watch this, your body knows exactly where your feet are. It knows the angle of the floor, the distance to the next step, the precise amount of balance required to keep you upright and moving forward, and it is doing all of that without a single conscious thought from you. That automatic quality, that invisible, effortless coordination, is called proprioception, and it is one of the first things to quietly fade as the nervous system ages. When it begins to go, people start watching their feet. They slow down in unfamiliar spaces. They hesitate at doorways and staircases. They move through the world more carefully, more cautiously, and often without understanding why. But when it is still there, when you can walk across the room thinking about breakfast, thinking about your plans for the day, thinking about anything other than your next step, your nervous system is telling you something beautiful. It is saying, I still have this. I am still here. There is a woman named Ruth, 73 years old. She never thought about how she walked until her younger sister, 68, mentioned that she had started watching her feet on stairs. Ruth had no idea that her easy, unthinking stride was something to be proud of. She does now. What about you? When was the last time you walked across a room and never once thought about your feet? Leave that in the comments, because that moment, that ordinary, forgettable moment, was your nervous system working exactly as it should. The third movement, I want you to try this right now. Carefully, gently, just as you're sitting there. Turn your head and look behind you, fully, as far as it will comfortably go. Your neck is not just the thing that holds your head up. It is a corridor, a passage through which your brain communicates with the rest of your body, through which blood flows to your mind, through which nerves reach every corner of who you are. And when the neck stays mobile, when it can still turn and look behind, it means that corridor is still open, still clear, still doing the quiet, vital work it was designed to do. Most people assume neck stiffness is just aging, just something that happens. And while some change is natural, significant restriction is not inevitable, and it is not irrelevant. Doctors who specialize in aging pay close attention to cervical mobility because of what it reveals about circulation, nerve health, and the broader condition of the spine. A man named George, 77 years old, drives himself to his weekly card game every Thursday. He checks his mirrors. He turns to look before changing lanes. He never thought twice about it, until his doctor mentioned, almost as an aside, that his neck mobility was better than most patients a decade younger. George went home and told his wife. She cried a little. He didn't understand why. I think you might. Now, before we get to the fourth movement, I need to tell you something, because this next one is the one that consistently shocks people. It looks so small, so ordinary, so completely unremarkable, and yet it is one of the strongest predictors of independence that researchers have found in adults over 70. Stay with me. The fourth movement. Reaching something above your head, a cup on the second shelf, a light switch above the door frame, a book you placed up high because you liked having it there, back when reaching was something you never thought about. Your shoulder is the most mobile joint in your body. It can move in more directions than any other joint you have. And because of that freedom, because of that extraordinary range, it is also one of the most vulnerable to tightening, to restriction, to the kind of quiet stiffening that happens when it stops being fully used. When the shoulder loses its overhead reach, most people don't notice at first. They simply rearrange, they move things lower, they ask for help, they adapt, because that is what humans do, and it is one of our greatest strengths. But here is the other side of that strength. When you reach up and that arm still goes, when the shoulder still opens, still extends, still lifts without protest, your body is preserving something precious. It is preserving your ability to care for yourself, to live in your own home, on your own terms, in your own way. That single movement, reaching above your head, is tied to your independence in ways that go far beyond the shelf it reaches. Remember that the next time you lift your arm without thinking, because someone else, somewhere, just found out they can't. If this video is speaking to you, if you're seeing your own body differently with each movement we go through, please take a moment right now to like this video and share it with someone you love. And if you haven't yet subscribed to the Wisdom Vault, I warmly invite you to do so. We are always here, with calm and thoughtful content made only for you. Now stay with me, because the fifth movement is one I'm going to ask you to actually do right now, while you're watching. Stand up if you can, find a wall or a sturdy chair nearby, and when you're ready, close your eyes and simply stand still. 10 seconds, that's all. What happened? If you held steady, if your body stayed calm and balanced with the world of vision removed, your inner ear and your body's sense of position in space just demonstrated something that researchers consider one of the most reliable markers of fall prevention and long-term brain health. Here is what most people don't know. Balance is not one thing, it is three things working together. Vision, the inner ear, and the body's own sense of where it is in space. When all three are working, balance feels effortless. But the true test, the test that reveals what's really happening beneath the surface, is what happens when you remove one of them. When you close your eyes and stay steady, you are showing that 2 out of 3 systems are functioning beautifully on their own. A woman named Dorothy tried this alone in her kitchen one afternoon. She expected to wobble immediately. She stood for 22 seconds before she opened her eyes. She sat back down and was quiet for a long moment. Then she picked up the phone and called her daughter. "I think I'm doing better than I thought," she said. "How long did you last? Tell me in the comments. And if you surprised yourself, if your body held steadier than you expected, please don't keep that to yourself, because somewhere else, right now, someone needs to know that it's possible." And now, the sixth movement. I told you at the beginning that this one surprises people. I told you it was connected to the very first movement, and I meant both of those things. It is this, sitting down slowly, with control, without dropping, not falling into your chair, not letting gravity make the decision, but lowering yourself, deliberately, smoothly, your muscles doing the work, until you arrive gently in your seat. Think about what that actually requires. Your thighs are working against the full weight of your body, your hips are guiding the descent,